Hey everyone, it's Thursdays at 3. I'm your host, Jason Crespin. So glad to be with you guys today on this Thursday, February 11th, 2021. So excited. We're going to have a fun show today. A couple things I want to let you guys know about. First off, if you are watching, be sure to type below, comment below, let us know who's all watching, all of our loyal Thursdays at 3 live fans. So many of you I know watch once it's already been posted and watch it later on and stuff like that, but we have some loyal live viewers. There's one of them right there, Mr. Braden. Hey, Mr. Braden, hope you're doing well today. So Thursdays at 3, can you believe it's already February 11th? Crazy to think about. February is almost half over. Almost Valentine's Day. Super exciting. Hopefully everyone has a fabulous Valentine that they are excited to celebrate with this weekend. If you don't have plans for your Valentine, boy, do we got a show for you. Super excited though. Tons of things going on this week at ALT as always. One thing that I wanted to mention that we kind of have been taking for granted. So randomly this week, I feel like we got a lot more either emails or texts or notifications about how people across the nation are just so intrigued at how ALT is still having their doors open and producing theater during the pandemic safely. We have had people in LA that have been talking to some people of like maybe some students or ALT warriors and different stuff. And they're like, wait, what? Like you guys are doing a show? And I have friends in New York that I'm like, oh, I can't have rehearsal. And they're like, what are you rehearsing for? And I say, Wizard of Oz. And they're like, is it virtual? And I'm like, no, we're doing it all. We're doing it all safely. And so kudos to ALT for that. We're definitely, kind of setting the trend of how to do live theater right now very safely, which is great. So also thank you to all of our staff and board of directors and volunteers who are making sure everyone is safe while ALT. So we have Always a Bridesmaid, that great, hilarious comedy, that play. Rehearsals are going well for that at the Adventure Space. I get to see them kind of in and out as they walk in and out of the space. Peggy Lovett, of course, directing that fabulous production. It's going to be absolutely hilarious comedy. We want to let you guys know tickets go on sale this Monday to our season ticket holders. So Monday, February 15th, starting at 10 a.m., you can purchase your tickets for Always a Bridesmaid. Always a Bridesmaid is going to be a great, fun show for sure. You're going to want to definitely get your tickets for that. I believe the show, there it is, March 4th through the 14th. So Always a Bridesmaid, get your tickets March 4th through the 14th. It's going to be an absolutely hilarious show. If you're not a season ticket holder, tickets go on sale Monday, the 22nd for the general public. So definitely get that. Brain says, I know the people I've been talking to about college are intrigued about ALT doing shows still. I love that. And then, of course, Wizard of Oz. We are deep in rehearsals for The Wizard of Oz. Of course, our show opens March 26th through April 3rd. We have tons of great rehearsals going on right now, blocking rehearsals and vocal rehearsals and dance rehearsals. And we have everyone, including, not to brag or anything, but a special star has joined our rehearsals this week. That's right, Bentley Crespin. Bentley Crespin has started rehearsals Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday of this week. Huge shout out to Merrick Pet Care. They are agreed to be the official sponsor, if you will, of Toto in our production. That's right. They're going to be doing some donations for the theater. They're going to be donating some gift baskets for us to be giveaway. And then they're sponsoring all of Toto's treats and different things like that for the show. So yay, good job, Bentley, for getting a corporate sponsor for the production. But we're super excited. There he is eating out of his Merrick bowl. He had just looked over his rehearsal blocking. So you students who are like, I don't have time. Bentley made time today to look at his blocking. You should make time too. Definitely, if you get a chance, follow Bentley's journey through the show with using the hashtag Bentley in Oz. We're going to be posting tons of photos, all that good stuff. It's going to be a blast. So definitely check out Bentley's journey in that production. And then, of course, we have a shows tonight. We're so excited. Preview performance, of course, we're talking about Once, February 11th through the 28th, 3 weekends at the ALT main stage. And we are in luck. We have a dear friend of mine, special guest. She didn't have to fly in on a umbrella for this one. She's not, painting and celebrating Greece and trying to find out which which man maybe fathered her child for a wedding. She's not making anyone to a meat pie, nothing like that. That's right. We have the very own Kristen Loyd.
Hi.
I feel like all of the roles you've played are so unique. Like Blown, don't know who the dad is of the daughter, meat pies, getting engaged, but don't touch me. Don't touch me. My fiance.
Mary Poppins to having a little too much fun to cooking people. It's all over the board.
I love it. I love it. I love it. First off, how are you doing? How is life?
I'm doing very well. I am doing better now knowing that we open this weekend. We are so excited. Things have been great, but like your students and it's been crazy. It's been crazy going from, mom to teaching my students to rehearsals, and then we get up and do it all over again. And that being said, it's been a blast. We're having so much fun.
And for you, I mean, this is your first show to do, and tons of people haven't done it, but to do a show during the pandemic, like mask wearing and making sure that you're staying healthy for yourself and your family, of course, but like having to think about the show and like all of those aspects. Like, how has that been?
It's interesting because there definitely has been a little bit of a learning curve, because this is my first show back since the pandemic. So the rehearsal and the mask, like choreography in a mask or, just singing in a mask is, but worth it to be able to do a show. So, it took a couple weeks and then you get used to it. And now that we're unmasking to start performances, it's that reminding yourself when you're backstage, put your mask on. When you're at intermission, put your mask on. Because those are things that like you're just not in the habit of doing when you're not masked in the theater. So we're all just trying to do a really good job of staying safe, keeping our hands clean, hands to ourselves, keeping our masks on. And my family has been, refraining from doing certain things and just making sure that it's working home and doing that so that we can kind of guarantee the safety of keeping this show going.
For sure. Well, and to think about in normal times, you could go out of town if you needed to for the weekend or something, to get away or whatever during rehearsal time. And you weren't but it's always on your brain of like, okay, I got to make sure. And then not only are you worried about your on stage blocking and stuff, it's like, oh yeah, now I have to basically have blocking for my mask backstage. Yes. We learned that with 10,000 Problems of a Teenage Girl, and as well as in It's a Wonderful Life. And there were moments where kids came on stage with their mask, which I couldn't get mad about because it was like, well, you're wearing your mask backstage, good job. But they just were so used to them that then they would come on and then immediately take them off and like shove them in a pocket or something. And so so it's definitely a whole different kind of scenario for sure. But I know you guys are all handling it so well. Alan says, Kristen is very versatile. It's true. It is true. I love it. I love it. One of these days, you're gonna have to do like a mashup of like all of like songs of all your different characters. I know. Like, I'm already giving you the idea. Like, you need to do some sort of spoonful of sugar into like the meat pie sort of thing. Yeah.
Absolutely. To a spoonful of sugar right into God. That's good.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, we'll workshop it. It'll be great.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about Once. So when the season was announced, was it like, oh my gosh, Once, like, I love this show, that's a show I always wanted to be in? Or were you like, I'm going to convince Jason that I should audition for Wizard of Oz, and if I don't get in that, then I'll try for, or what? How did that all work?
No, 100%. So on our last New York trip, which was 2014, it's been a while, but Ryan and I went and saw Once and absolutely fell in love with it. And the week we got home, I ordered the songbook for it and started learning those songs and just loving. I love the music. I love the story. Yeah. I love the Irish backdrop and that setting.
Now, was Elizabeth Davis in it when you saw it?
Say that again?
Elizabeth A. Davis. She was which character was she?
Right after Kristen Milioti, right?
Well, I think so. She got Tony nominated. She was the violin player. She's the one that's she was in Texas here in Amarillo or in Canyon, and she was, oh my gosh, I think from West Texas is from her family. So she's from around here, and she was in the show.
Was she? She may have been. She may have been in it. Do you know who? So I did see. I saw Steve Kazee. He was still in
Okay.
it.
If
And
you
then,
saw him, then you saw her, I think.
and Katrina Link was in it at that point.
Oh, really? Oh, cool.
See her, and that was really. I mean, she was just breathtaking. The show was breathtaking.
Oh, I bet. I bet.
And so yeah, just fell in love with it. And honestly, it was one of the shows that I thought, what an incredible show. But I never thought maybe I'll get to do this someday. Like
Sure.
I never thought that would be a possibility. And here we are. And it's just so.
I
It's really
love it. I love that. It's always
So
fun whenever you there's a show that you love so much that you're like, oh my gosh. But then it's also like, okay, I love this show so much. Do I even want to be in it because I love it so much? And you know what I mean? It's that that moment.
and knowing, like, seeing it as even an option and then seeing it on the season floored me, because I was going, not many places could put this on their season as an option, knowing that they could find musicians to be on stage to act this. And obviously there's certain ways that you could maybe have some band members that aren't in the show that are just for band. But it is incredible that ALT ended up being able to do this whole show and not have to have a band behind the actors. Like,
Yeah, it's amazing. Amazing. Alan commented that. Thank you, Alan. Elizabeth Davis was from Channing. That's right. I couldn't remember where she was from. That's right. And then one of your good old friends from back in the day, Donna Barbie.
hi, Donna. It's good to see you.
I love it. I love it. So anyone who doesn't necessarily know what Once is about, Once was a huge show on Broadway. Of course, it followed the 2007-2008 movie. When it was hit Broadway, it won tons of awards. In fact, it won 8 Tony Awards at the 2012 Tony Awards, including Best Musical. The show for sure has this unique kind of aspect to it because, of course, the actors are the musicians, like you mentioned. But for those people who maybe don't know the movie or don't know the show, in your words, Kristen, of course, without giving anything too much away, what is the show about?
Absolutely. So it follows the story of Guy, who is an Irish musician, and he runs this vacuum cleaner repair shop with his dad, and he plays in pubs and on the street just for money, for fun, because his life is music. And so he's reached the end of his rope. He's decided he's going to maybe give up on his music. And that's when girl, who is me, comes into the scene, and she, through their relationship, through their growing friendship, she reinvigorates and kind of pushes him around and refuses to let him give up on this music and this dream and this passion. And so through that, they develop this beautiful friendship and this beautiful opportunity for him to pursue his music and to make a demo. And it follows the story of the funny characters that they meet along the way, and all these people that they end up pulling into this group that they put together to make this beautiful music. And it's the story of what happens with all the people.
Love that. And I love how much of it's an ensemble show. It's an ensemble piece where, all of these people in the bar are part of this music and different things like that. And it's such interesting to think about how it mirrors aspects of ALT, how people at ALT come together to band together for something good. And I think that just will speak volumes with this show.
100%. This is a show that every single person in it makes the show. We couldn't do it with one of us missing. It wouldn't be a show. And it's just an incredible feel. It's an incredible connection. Yeah. And it's the first time for me that I have been a part of the group that gets to make the music, not just act it, not just sing it, but I'm like part of the band. And so everyone else plays much, much more than my character gets to. But still, when I get to and just get to be I'm part of that group making the music. And there's just so incredibly cool and special about that.
Look at all them there.
Look at all those musicians. Look at all those instruments. And it's just amazing. And the music is written just so divinely and exquisitely. And it's just such a really cool, neat vibe in that show.
I love it. I love it so much. I can't believe it. I love it. Now, did you know the movie before you knew the musical?
Yes. I saw the movie several years before I got to see the musical, and I loved the movie. But boy, if you're a fan of the movie, come see the musical. Even if you've never seen the movie, come see the musical. But it's really cool because you can kind of go, well, this was a movie. What's the musical going to be like? But they took everything that's charming and lovely and wonderful about the movie, and then they put almost like just more heart, more
Oh
feeling,
yeah,
more
yeah.
connection to those characters, more funny. It's just like they took that movie and they just ramped it up with more of everything that's good. So the musical tells the story, and it does it so well and does it so much justice with such beautiful heart and feeling.
Well, and the great thing about the movie too is, like, I remember watching it and kind of remembering the story, of course, but the biggest thing I remembered from the movie was honestly the music, was just how great the music was.
Yeah.
Of course, the movie at the 2008 Academy Awards, it won Best Original Song for Falling Slowly. It was just a great, beautiful song that I remember. I, as a dancer, I was like, "Ooh, I want to dance to that song." Like, I could, like, think of it like a fun piece to do and stuff like that with it. Alicia Beth says, "Can't wait to watch the whole ensemble," and of course, the super talented Kristen.
Thank you, Alicia. You're gonna love it.
And one of your cast members there, Don Shipman, says she sings, she dances, she plays the piano, and she makes me cry every night. Ooh.
He's too sweet to me. That man is too sweet to me. Oh my
I love it. I love it. So with this show, with all of these characters and having, all of these musicians that are in the show, I mean, the amount of talent, I can't even imagine how much exudes from all of you guys. With each cast member, you say you play the piano, is that correct, in the show?
That's correct. Mm-hmm.
And then everyone else. So how many different instruments are being played? Do you know?
Okay, so we go from, I mean, there are, first of all, just to get a scope of it, there are 6 acoustic guitars in this show.
6 acoustic guitars? Oh my gosh.
That rotate around. There's a mandolin, there's violins, there's electric bass, there's accordion, there's a piano, obviously.
Yes.
There's, and then there is a, what else? I mean, you can see them
What's
all there.
that thing that Callie has?
Callie is holding, and I'm like, I just completely went blank. Somebody type and help me out. It's called a harmonium, and you blow into it, almost like it's got this tube, and you blow into it, and the air is what makes the sound, and so it's got this little keyboard attached to it, and as you blow, you can play the notes, and it makes kind of that just fun little sound.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
I saw that and I was like, is that a little
something? Everybody's got something, and it's just a blast. But it's amazing because two of those guys are typically in the pit, in the and So
there's Brian there.
Brian on the right, and he is just the level of talent just of those 3 people right there. But Brian he rotates between the violin, the acoustic guitar, and the electric bass in this show. And Ricardo, who was in the middle right there in that red suit, alternates between acoustic guitar, electric bass, mandolin, and drums. So not only that, but then they get on stage and they are hilarious, and it's insane. It's just so really
I
cool.
would be playing the water ball. I'd be like, like that would be my musical contribution. They're like, Jason, too high. So I'm like, have to take a drink to like get the pitch low or whatever.
Yeah, and I'm sitting there on numbers that like where I don't play the piano, and I'm just like, yeah.
Yeah, give me a good tambourine.
Yeah.
Maybe
we have a tambourine. There's a tambourine. There's these little like it's not maracas. They're like little clacker like noisemakers. But there's so many instruments. And these people do it.
Another of your cast member there helping you out.
Melodica. I said harmonium. Yeah, melodica. Thank you. There you go. Yes.
Melodica
and
sounds like a fun girl that I go out dancing with or something.
Yeah. Yeah. It's oh man. It's so much. We're having so much fun.
So tell us more about specifically your character. Like, tell us more about who she is, because her name is really girl, correct? Like, there's not a name to her.
Our 2 leads are guy and girl, and so girl is Czech, and she is in Ireland. I think really just for a better future for her family. So she is in Ireland, and she lives with her mother and her 5-year-old daughter, and then they also those 3 live with a set of brothers and another young girl who is girl's very close friend. So, this whole flat is full of all these very vivacious, very outspoken, very loud, very kind of Czech people, and they have just such a blast. So she has this very direct, very kind of almost brash in your face approach to life, but she's very encouraging. She's very optimistic, and she really, I think, just wants the best for everybody. She wants everybody just to stick to their guns and go get what they want and do what they need to do. And so in her journey, I think of helping Guy kind of follow his dreams and not give up on himself and not get up on what he loves. She has to really evaluate her life and the decisions that she needs to make. And the end of the show really comes to a point of what you want versus what you need to do, and making those decisions. And I think it shows everybody that there's not just one path. There are many paths, and there's not just one right answer. Many paths can be the right answer. And so she makes some choices and chooses some paths that she feels like are best for her and her daughter, even if those are hard choices, but they're still right choices. And it's such a beautiful story.
I love it. Now, are there characteristics of Girl that you're like, oh, this, I can pull this from myself because I feel this way? Or, I mean, I feel like every time you approach a character, like you find some sort of sense of yourself in that character, to bring across. Like what was that for you with this character?
I think her positivity, I feel like I'm generally pretty, especially with other people. It's a lot easier to be uplifting and positive with other people than with oneself, is it not?
Amen.
But so I think just that encouraging spirit she has, I relate to that. I want that for people, for my students, for my friends. And I think the most contrasting thing about Girl that has been really fun to play, because you find a freedom in playing things that are harder for you in real life that you get to just openly express on stage. She is very direct. She is very much like, well, this is the best thing, and I'm just going to speak it. I'm going to say it. And that's a lot harder for me, because I just want people to be happy. And it's a lot harder for me to be like, well, you don't want to hear this, but boom. And that's how she is. She's just like, sorry, not sorry. Here's the truth.
She's honest.
She's honest. She's the ambassador of honesty is what Guy calls her.
Now I feel bad. I don't think I realized that you were such a strong piano player. Like, how long have you, like, I knew that you played for your students and stuff. How long have you been playing piano?
Okay, well, so let's just rephrase such a strong piano player.
No, but you are amazing.
Okay, well, I started playing piano when I was 5. I did not stop playing piano until I graduated college. So there was a lot of years of playing piano. And when I graduated college, I was a fairly decent piano player. And then after that, I was just so burnt out on playing that I stopped playing, and I didn't really. So I've always been able to play. I've always been able to sit down, look at music, and learn the music. But what's sad is I used to be much better at just sight reading the music and getting into it. And so now it's been so many years of not consistently playing that I have to like sit down and like work into it again. So I really started picking up playing again at the beginning of quarantine, and just started playing. And I do a lot of playing by ear. I really like to just sit and play. Practicing this music has just been a great, just prompting a great encouragement to like wanting this role and knowing, okay, sit down and learn it. But the fact that I already had the music book, the fact that I already knew this music, it was really just sitting down and making sure it was the right notes and not just me playing by ear. Yeah, it goes. So learning that, and then, and it's really just been kind of picking it back up again. And that has really spurred on starting to play other things again. So I'm getting out some of my old classical piano books.
Oh, fun.
It's been really good. It's been really nice.
Now, with this show, how difficult is this music? When we think of musical theater, I always think of like Jason Robert Brown and Stephen Sondheim. Which is just like the time signatures and just everything. Like, for somebody who doesn't know, who knows, the big song and dance shows and different things like that. Like, this is a unique show. It's almost in its own genre of music.
It's very unique. And, so Glenn Hansard and Marquetta Glover were the stars of the movie, and they're the ones who wrote it. They wrote the movie, they wrote the music. I know if you all get a chance, if you're like, I don't know who these people are, go back and watch them when they won the 2008 Academy Award. He speaks, and then the music plays in, and they cut her off, and she doesn't get to do her speech. And the host that year, Jon Stewart,
literally comes back out at some point and like brings her back on stage to give her speech. It was like an epic moment of the Academy Awards that I will always remember.
So cool.
Yeah.
But they are incredible musicians. And but this style of music is very folksy. It's very singer-songwriter, very there's a lot of the Irish influence, and then you hear a lot of the kind of the Czech prog, that sound kind of into it. As far as the piano goes, it's a lot simpler than what like Jennifer has to play in a lot of shows. It's very straightforward because what she's singing, it's easy, it's very melodic, and it's just beautiful stuff. Now I know the violins and the guitars, and they have some more complicated rhythms and things, but I think for the most part it's pretty straightforward music, and it's really the biggest challenge is getting the whole group getting it together, because there are some complicated rhythms in some of the songs, some complicated signatures. So getting that all just jiving really well together, where it feels more like a jam session than a rehearsal.
That's cool.
Is really fun.
Larry Joe commented, "She's the ambassador of honesty." One of my favorite lines from the show. I love that. Grayson, Kristen is literally my favorite. I'm so excited to see the show.
I love Grayson. Grayson was here today, just right before this. He's one of my faves.
He's the keeper.
He's precious. Yeah, he's the keeper.
Wait till you see his lion. Oh, it's so good. His lion is so good.
I can't wait.
Oh, so good. So obviously we're talking about how great the cast is and how versatile they are. There's, of course, people who are making their ALT debut with this show. There's people who have done shows but haven't done them in a while, or this and that, or been in the band. For you, there's some people that you haven't worked with before with this show.
Right.
And including, of course, let's first talk about a certain actress, very, very small, but big personality, big talent. Your daughter gets to be in the show with you.
Yes, my 5-year-old Ruby is in this show with me. There she is. There she is with me, and this is her first show, and she's been in the Academy for 2 years now, and she is so excited. And it was a really cool opportunity. It was really cool to be asked if Ruby might want to be in the show. And so Ryan and I we talked about it. We really had to think about it and consider it. And then we asked her about it, and she was like, "Oh my goodness, yes!" So she's my child who is much more introverted at first, and she just really has to kind of get a feel for the people before she decides, okay, yeah, we can chat and we can be buds. So the first few rehearsals, she was kind of like, and now she comes out on that stage and she's like, "Woo, this is fun." So it has been. We get home and she is so tired.
I bet.
She's 5 and she goes to bed at like 8:30 or 9. Well, she's at the theater until 9:30. And so she gets home and she's just like, "I'm so tired." But we're going to look back on this, and it's going to be such an incredible memory and an incredible experience. And she's having a great time. And I'm so proud of her because she hits her marks and she's right where she needs to be. And she's got a great attitude, and she's just having a blast. So it made the show that much more special. Yeah. Getting to introduce my daughter Ivanka, who was my daughter Ruby, and it's just really cool. And so,
so cool.
She has even adopted at home. She has her own little Czech accent that she likes to walk around using, and she'll be like, "My name is Ivanka," and so that's been really cute and fun.
That's awesome. Oh, cannot wait to see her. That's such great memories, for sure. And then let's also talk about Bobby Schaefer.
Yes.
You have, he's played in the orchestras for you, but this is the first time you guys have been able to share the stage, correct?
This is our first show together. Yes. And boy, man, it's so much fun to work with Bobby because he is such a talent and he is so generous in his acting. He's very intuitive and he's very, always wants to make sure that we're on the same page, that he's got great ideas, and he'll say, "Hey, what about?" And I get to say, "Hey, what about?" And there's just such a freedom between actors to make it feel like this is what works for us and our characters, and making sure we're going far enough for the other person that it feels like this is real, it just feels real. And not even to mention what an incredible musician he is. He's amazing. And so getting to sing and play with him, and then getting to act with him, everything, it's 100% all the way around has been such a great experience. And I feel like we get to become these characters, and we really get to tell this story, and we really get to go there because we're each giving that much and making sure the other is connecting with it. And he's been a dream to work with.
And of course, Amarillo audiences, our ALT audiences, will remember Bobby from a slew of plays. I mean, Outside of Mullingar and The Odd Couple, and the first time we did Brighton Beach Memoir. I mean, tons of shows. It's been a while for us to see him in a musical. He was in the first time we did I Love You, You're Perfect, Now Change. He was our Fred Casely the first time we did Chicago and different things like that. So I'm excited just to see him in a musical. I haven't seen him in a musical in a very long time, and to see the dynamic that he has on stage with you. I cannot imagine. It's nothing less than brilliant. So very excited to see.
Of course, his Irish accent is so wonderful. So like just watching him be this Irish guy is just it's just so wonderful.
I love it. Yeah, he is definitely a gem for ALT for sure. I was going to ask you, I didn't know this until last week when Jennifer talked about it. So you guys, of course, we all know blocking, and you're learning your songs and all that stuff, but there's no sheet music on stage. Like everything is memorized. Is that correct?
That's correct.
How was that more challenging to have that memorized, or was it easier to have that memorized because it's just it's already written there? It's not not having to make choices of a character, you know what I mean? Or it's more black and white. Like this is the notes that I have to play no matter what.
Yeah, this is my first time to have to memorize like the music to be played.
Yeah.
So really the biggest challenge for me was being inside my head going, oh gosh, what happens if my fingers hit the wrong notes? And 2 nights ago, boy, did that happen. And my fingers hit some wrong notes. And it was very much well, you just keep going. Just like anything else with acting, you just keep going and you get through it, and then you go to the next thing, and that's fine. And I think so many of these musicians are so used to playing, doing that, that I was absolutely floored at how soon in the rehearsal process these musicians were off book on the songs. It didn't take 3 weeks, and every single one of these people had their music memorized. And it doesn't matter what instrument they're playing; it's memorized. Like they've got these chords for every song. It's just like, oh, no big deal. And this is how you make this chord, and oh, you can do this. And I'm just like, what? So that's as far as performing the song, it feels the same as other musicals. You're up there performing what you have to perform and what you've learned, but playing the songs definitely has been a whole new dynamic of
sure
learning.
Well, and I mean, for musicians, of course, I bet it's easy for them, but and I'm sure people have asked you this before, like it's the whole mentality for me. It's like singing and dancing and acting, all three great, but then like playing an instrument, like what, like oh my god, like it's this thing, like what It is. And you can have played a song 100 times, and then you sit down and your brain goes, "Ooh, you've never played this before." And it's one of those times where you have to trust. You just have to trust. You have to trust your muscles to do what they're supposed to do, and then you have to just force your brain, just relax and play the song. Just relax and play the song. It's and that has been a cool challenge, but also just really cool. Guys, if you're not excited about the show, I don't know what's wrong with you. Speaking of people who come and see the show, what are you hoping audiences take away when they see the show? When they leave, final applause, they're walking back to their cars with their masks on, all that good stuff. What are you hoping that they are just experiencing after they see the show?
I hope they have really, really felt the beauty of what music can do, the beauty of friendship, and the freedom of knowing that regardless of what your heart wants, you can see that there are many choices, and that it's okay. That it's okay, even if your heart goes, oh, that you can go, but it's okay. It's good. It's good. You can make choices that are good.
Yeah.
Even if it doesn't feel like what you like really want to happen. And so I hope they leave with just a sense of beauty and joy. And we get to, at the end, we get to kind of ramp it up again with just a really fun little ditty. And just hope they enjoy the music. It's because the whole show is about the music.
Oh,
so
yeah. And such a good story. You guys are storytellers. Actors were storytellers.
Yes.
When you can tell a story to a soundtrack of beautiful music, to this gorgeous music, it's a perfect night at the theater. And we should mention it's at the ALT main stage. Originally, it was going to be at the Adventure Space, moved over to the main stage to allow more seating capacity, and so all of the kind of things that would have made it a little bit more rated R language-wise or something that has been taken out. So I was going to say, who should come see the show?
Bring it on, really. So the show content is clean. The show content has always been clean. The only thing that really gave it kind of an age rating was some language, really just some of that, and some very, like, you go to Ireland, you hear this very common language. It's just part of everyday speech.
Yeah.
But because we're on the main stage, that has been taken out, and it doesn't affect the telling of the story because it's it's such a beautiful, clean story. So really, I think Alan has like a PG-10 on it, and I really think the only reason is because there is some love story, there is some just kind of grown up conversation as far as just talking about relationships and things like that, and mostly we just don't want little biddies to get bored, in some of that part.
Yeah.
But I don't know that all littles would. Like my oldest daughter is 8. She loves it. It just has had a ball watching it and getting to be there for some of the rehearsals. And like I said, it's clean content. So it's a beautiful date night. It's a beautiful family night. I mean, anybody could come see this show and enjoy watching all the fun and funny and interesting things that happen.
So fun. I can't wait. Of course, we want to remind you, it begins tonight, February 11th. In fact, tonight, for any tickets that are left, because it's preview night tonight, tickets are 2 for the price of 1. Of course, it runs 3 weekends. February 11th, 18th, and 25th. Those are the 3 Thursdays. We want to remind you that showtimes are at 7:30. Fridays and Saturdays, the 12th, 13th, 19th, 20th, 26th, and 27th, 8 o'clock. And then our Sunday matinees on the 14th, 21st, and 28th, all at 2:30. And if you're looking for that last minute Valentine, plans or something, I mean, this is a perfect Valentine date night to go take your girls out, have a gal's night, what is it called?
Galentine.
I couldn't think of it. Thank you. Yes. Come to the theater. It's going to be an absolute blast. Of course, if anyone's worried about coming to the theater, maybe they have received their first shot or their second shot, and they're like, okay, now I'm ready to come out and do some things. We always want to let you know that our COVID-19 safety protocols are on our ALT website. You can just check out www.amarillo.littletheater.org for those. Click on COVID-19 protocols. You'll see all of those. We also want to remind you that while you come to the theater, you can enter into one of our different 4 entrances. We have 4 different entrances to the theater. Of course, you want to print your tickets, or you can download your tickets from your account on the website. Just download it to your phone, that screenshot of the QR code, bring that to the ushers, find out which door you're going to, and come have a great evening, come have a great afternoon at the theater, seeing live theater, and feel blessed that Amarillo Little Theater is able to offer that to you, because a lot of people right now in the whole world basically are not getting to do anything. I have so many friends that are like, I wish I was in Amarillo getting to do shows at the Little Theater. I'm like, yeah, we're pretty lucky. So huge shout out to all of you in the cast. Break a leg tonight. Like I said, I'm seeing it tomorrow. Cannot wait. I know you guys have sacrificed so many things to make sure to be able to stay healthy for this show. We so appreciate that. We shout out to, of course, director Alan Schenkels, music director Ms. Jennifer Akins, and all of the amazing volunteers who are volunteering their time and their talent. There they are again to this amazing show, Once the Musical. It's going to be like no show, like no other show at ALT has the whole cast playing the instruments for the show. So we keep joking, you're not going to want to see it once, you're going to want to see it more than that, twice, thrice, all that good stuff. So see it this weekend, so that way you can get your tickets for the following second or third weekend. Right. Tell all your friends about it. Kristen, break a leg. It's always great, of course, talking to you. I know you're going to absolutely shine on that stage like you always do. And soak it in, getting to share that stage with your daughter. Like, how great is that? Like, my heart
It's an amazing blessing. It's amazing.
Yeah, for sure. Well, tune in next week. Hopefully, Bobby had a scheduling conflict today, so hopefully we can get Bobby Schaefer on our Thursdays at 3 next week. We will continue talking about once. We'll find out how the opening weekend went, all that good stuff. Don't forget, Always a Bridesmaid. Season tickets go on sale Monday, the 15th, starting at 10 a.m. And then don't forget to look out for that cute, adorable dog, Mr. Bentley. Hashtag Bentley in Oz. Follow his journey in Wizard of Oz. Again, Kristen, so great to talk to you. Break a leg tonight. We'll see all of you next week, Thursdays at 3. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell, all those things. Get notified whenever your favorite. I used to always say your favorite Mexican would be joining you on Thursdays at 3. But anyway, we just hope you guys all have a safe week. Stay warm. It's going to be cold. Come see. We got heat. We got heat at the Amarillo Little Theater.
It's warm.
Come.
It's funny. So come on.
Yes, come. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. All right. We'll see you guys at the theater.